Hey everyone, so last week I showed you all 136 of my aquarium fish, and today I want to share how much all of these fish eat in 1 week. Let's start with my largest aquarium, my 880 gallon predator tank. This tank is home to my biggest fish, and these guys have monstrous appetites. Now with all my fish, I feed a stable diet along with a more exotic food that serves as a treat for the fish. I like to offer my fish different meals because no one wants to eat the same food over and over again. I feel as if when you mix up your fish's diet, you keep feeding time exciting and you just encourage more interaction and engagement from your fish when you feed them. So with these fish, their staple diet is Aquarium Massivore Delight. This is a high protein, compact, sinking pellet designed for predatorial fish. Now I keep peacock bass, and these fish are known for being very picky eaters, and this is one of the only pellets that they'll accept, which means that this must be a rather tasty pellet. So when I feed this tank, I start with about a handful of 25 to 30 pellets. Depending on how fast they eat the first batch of pellets, I'll go ahead and toss another batch of pellets, and normally these fish will eat about 2 handfuls of the Aquarium Massivore Delight, and I feed them once a day, 4 times a week. Once a week, I'll try to feed them a more exotic meal, like raw shrimp or raw fish. Today I have raw tilapia. I try to make sure everyone in the tank gets a piece, especially my black ghost knife, because this fish is a picky eater and I think he refuses the pellets, so this guy waits once a week for that treat. Altogether, this tank gets fed 5 days a week, and they go 2 randomly chosen days without food, just to clear their system, because these fish are predatorial, and I believe that naturally in the wild, they definitely won't eat every day. So I believe that in aquariums, it's beneficial to let them go a day or 2 without food. I think it helps clear their digestion and it just improves their overall health. Next, we have my 350 gallon tank. So this tank has a mix of predator and herbivore fish. As a stable diet, I offer Hikari carnivore sticks along with Hikari sinking cichlid gold. The carnivore sticks are a high protein, flavorful pellet, while the sinking cichlid gold is a more fibrous pellet. I've been feeding both for years, and the fish love the taste, and they look great. By the way, you're gonna hear a lot of repetition with these brands, and I'm not being sponsored, although I wouldn't mind being sponsored, but at the moment I'm not being sponsored by these companies. These are just products that I've tried before, and I like them, and my fish like them. I'm not trying to push anything to you guys or sell anything, it's just based on my experience. I feed these fish once a day, 5 times a week, and as a treat I'll offer romaine lettuce, which is mainly a treat for my herbivore fish. Now because lettuce is a lightweight treat, I'll put some in the tank in the morning and I'll let the fish graze in it all day, and I'll still feed them their regular stable diet later on in the evening. Now I do offer raw shrimp occasionally, but I try not to do it too much because my herbivore fish, they get it, and if they eat too much they can become constipated. And just like with my predator tank, I like to fast them twice a week, just to help them digest their food and to help with overall health. Next we have Indonimus. As a stable diet, he only accepts Hikari jumbo carnivore sticks, which are just a larger version of Hikari's carnivore sticks, and he refuses every other pellet, and I think it just comes down to his personal taste preference. I'll start off with about 6 to 8 pellets, and I'll watch his reaction. If he eats them quickly, I'll offer more. If not, that's all he gets. I feed him once a day, 4 times a week, and once a week I'll try to give him a more exotic meal like bloodworms, earthworms, raw shrimp, or in this case, raw tilapia. Indonimus will also be fasted twice a week on 2 randomly chosen days. The next tank has a lot of juvenile fish, so I feed these fish more. As a staple diet, I offer fluval bug bites, cichlid formula, which I believe is a home run when it comes to fish food, because naturally in the wild, a lot of freshwater fish are insectivores. These fish rely on insects and insect larvae, so I believe that this fish food is spot on. All my fish, they love the flavor of it, and the pellet breaks down in the water pretty well. Along with fluval bug bites, I offer Hikari sinking cichlid gold for my larger fish, and Hikari carnivore sticks for my turtle. I feed these fish their stable diet 6 days a week, and once a week I'll feed them a treat of frozen bloodworms, which are a high protein snack that all fish love the flavor of. This tank gets fed 7 days a week, and occasionally I'll even feed them twice a day because smaller fish tend to have a faster metabolism. Feeding them this much will help them to grow faster, and also when you feed them a lot more, it will encourage just a more interactive behavior between you and your fish. My 40-gallon aquarium is another tank with young fish, so I feed these guys a lot. As a staple, I offer Ultra Fresh Shrimp Delight, which is my tiniest pellet. I initially bought it to feed newborn fish, but as of today, I don't have any baby fish, so I feed it to these fish because these are the smallest fish that I have that can actually enjoy this tiny pellet. I also feed fluval bug bites and tetra flakes. The flakes are another food that I bought for baby fish, but these guys, they just love the taste of the flakes. I feed the stable diet 6 days a week and sometimes twice a day, and I offer romaine lettuce as a treat. It's a very light treat, and I'll let them graze on it throughout the day, and then later on I'll feed them their staple diet, and then once a week I'll feed them a treat of frozen bloodworms. So this tank doesn't have a lot of fish, so I just sprinkle a little bit of bug bites along with some Hikari sinking cichlid gold. Because these fish are young, I feed them 6 days a week, and I'll offer a treat of bloodworms once a week. Okay everyone, so I have a quick tip for you guys. If you're going on vacation or you're going to be somewhere away from your fish and you need someone to feed your fish, this is what you should do. Don't trust the person to feed your fish because they just don't have the same eye or the same judgment as you, and they will absolutely overfeed your fish. So instead, what you could do is buy these containers. I bought all 5 for about $3, and what I do is I label each aquarium and I just pour the amount of rations per each tank. So I made my rations, and this will feed my 125-gallon grow-out aquarium, this will feed my jewel cichlids, and this will feed my 40-gallon aquarium, and I don't have to worry about my fish being overfed. Now this tank is very unique to feed because I have a mix of large fish and small fish. My smallest fish are my 2-inch tiger barbs, and my largest fish are my bala sharks, which are almost 12 inches. As a staple diet, I offer fluval bug bites, Hikari sinking cichlid gold, and tetra flakes. Again, I feed the flakes simply because my fish, they love the flavor of the flakes. I feed these fish their staple diet 6 days a week, and once a week I'll offer a treat of bloodworms. My last 2 tanks are my 2 20-gallon aquariums. Now these tanks don't have filters, so when I feed the fish, I have to be extra careful not to overfeed. As a stable diet, these fish alternate between tetra flakes and fluval beta formula. I started feeding fluval beta formula because the main fish in this aquarium are my paradise gourami, and these fish are close cousins to the beta, and naturally they have a similar diet. Now I feed them small portions, so one day I'll feed them flakes and I'll feed them just a fingerful, and one day I'll feed them the beta formula and I'll just sprinkle a little bit in, and I try to be extra careful to make sure that I don't overfeed these fish because once again, the only filtration is from the plants, and that is a more slow motion type of filtration. And if you overfeed, you could definitely lead to high nitrates in the aquarium. So I just sprinkle here and there. I feed these fish their staple diet 6 days a week, and once a week I'll treat them to bloodworms. Okay everyone, so that's been a look at what I feed my fish once a week. My goal is to keep my fish healthy and happy, and I try to make it fun for both me and my fish. So let me know what you feed your fish. What do you feed your fish as a staple diet, and what treats do you feed your fish? I'm always looking for more suggestions and more options for my fish because these guys are awesome. And the more foods you offer them, the better tasting foods. You just build a better bond with your fish, and you make fish keeping more enjoyable. So that's the video. Thank you for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.